Born in Limuru, a normal child, Wagio Njoroge's story is of inspiration and triumph.
Growing up, you grew up as a normal child.
Yeah. Fast forward 2006, this young girl's life took a turn when a pimple on her back turned into a hunchback.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it. Yeah.
This new change brought excruciating mental and emotional torture as Wagio will be bullied and stigmatized in school.
So she used to imitate how you're limping.
Yeah. In the search for her identity, this young lady has defied all odds to live a full, happy life and even be a well-established photographer in her hometown.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wagio Njoroge herself in the flesh. Mambo, karibu.
Poa sana. I'm doing well.
How is the new year?
Wow. Hey. Iko sawa.
Iko sawa. So Wagio, you are going to tell us your story of how you were born without a hump and how you came to get a hump and how life has been since that change.
Thank you very much, Modoni, for your invite today. So hi everyone. So 2006 I was about traveling as well. So it's really interesting because at this season, according to the growth of somebody, of a human being, that's when in adolescence most of the people start. The changes that happened, it started something like a pimple on my back. So this day I remember quite well. My dad had asked me for a cup of water. I had to just bend and do something. And he asked me, Wagio, what is on your back? I'm like, on my back. So my dad checked and he told me, I think there's something, it's not a normal pimple. So what he asked me, he told me, tomorrow when you go to school, I think it was on Sunday, tomorrow when you go to school, ask for permission from your teachers so that we can take you to hospital. They are going to school asking for my teachers for permission. They were like, but you're not sick. But I told them it's really important for me to go to hospital because my dad requested me, said it's important, you know. So they accepted and I used to go to Kenyatta Hospital. I used to because I have not gone back there for years. I haven't gone back there. So when I went there, the doctors checked and they had to go through some x-rays and they established there's something wrong. And along the pathway of my spinal cord, there was something growing there. So they booked for some appointments. They started thinking about me having a corrective surgery for my back. And because of the growth rate, it was really growing fast. Let's say if they book for my surgery, like I mentioned before, 5 of my surgeries, okay, they weren't successful, and I didn't go under the knife. I didn't go under the knife because the doctors were like, this, it's serious, it's critical, but it's also risky because you don't know whatever is growing here.
Oh, so they were not sure what was growing on your back?
Yeah, they weren't sure whatever was really growing there. And even up to date, I don't know what was growing there. I don't know what I am carrying on my back because, like I mentioned, I still have the hump is still there. So in a span of from 2006 to 2007, whatever was growing there, it really grew fast. And just remembering, at that moment you could notice the changes, but right now, years later, you can't notice if the hump is growing, but according to the changes that are happening to my body, at times I feel it.
So you can feel the hump growing?
Not really the hump growing, but some of the changes, my breathing system. Okay, my lungs are affected, my ribs are affected. Even right now, right now I have to support myself on one side. If I'm sitting for too long, if I'm doing something heavy, I need to take pauses, or if I'm sitting for too long, I love having something to support myself because the curvature is
curvature on your left.
Yeah, it's leaning on my left. So sometimes it's really tiresome if I'm not leaning somewhere. I'm not supporting my back. And that's why and my breathing system. Though I love challenging myself, to do some things that people say that you get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
But because my breathing system was affected, the doctors suggested that in very cold areas. I'm not supposed to stay there longer. I'm not supposed to go climbing mountains. Something
Hiking.
Hiking. Not even walking for too long.
And stuff that make your breathing difficult.
Yeah, difficult. Some people. Okay, I don't explain to people a lot, but I know myself, and I'm like, today how I'm feeling. Form hapana. But at times I love walking. Yeah, even though the doctor said no, walking for too long it's not good for your health. But come on, this life
you have to be active.
Yeah, you have to be active. So, like I mentioned, my breathing system, my breathing was affected, and I noticed as days goes by and my sitting, I don't do hard chores. I don't do them. It's really straining to my back. It really strains me. When back then in 2006 and 2007, I was able to do some of these stuff, but as days goes by, I have to challenge myself because come on, I'm growing up. I'm growing up, and I can't always be sitting around. So most of the time I find I love doing tasks that are not really stressing or to my back or stressing to my body, so that not to affect me in any way, So those are the changes sometimes I really notice. I notice them with time because I remembered one time I almost choked.
You almost choked?
Yes. So I decided to go back to hospital and ask, because I told my parents this is not normal. That's when I realized, that's the time that the doctors told me, your hump, how it grew, it also affected your lungs. That's when I realized, wow. So choking, climbing and all these things. But I remember growing up, I didn't, the doctors had recommended when I was younger, my parents told my teachers, and I'm not supposed to be running for long distances. I never used to run in school. Those marathons people go, or in the evening or during PE.
You were not born with the hump.
Yeah.
It's something that grew in 2006.
Yeah.
So growing up, you grew up as a normal child.
Yeah.
You used to play with other kids.
Very true.
But when this thing started growing, when the hump started growing and your body started changing, what are some of the things that you went through? Did you go through bullying? Did you go through people trying to take advantage of you?
2006, when it happened, you see that the students were for everyone else, most of the time the changes that were happening were pimples, hips, and all those things. But for me, the hump, at that moment, I blamed the people, and I blamed the people around me at that moment. But later on, coming to growing up, I think adulting teaches us so many things.
Yeah.
So growing up, that's when I stopped blaming them. But at that moment, I used to blame them because when they noticed these changes are happening to me, what they decided, and like I mentioned, there's this one lady who gave me a lot of headache in school.
Is this high school or primary school?
Primary school. Now this 2006, when the hump started growing, I also started limping. Wow. For the people they could not understand what's really happening to you. And this lady, I remember her telling my class that, you know what? Stop talking to a girl because she must be doing something. Their family must be doing something. Okay, like I mentioned off the camera, I also lost my grandma at that moment. And my parents, I thank God they were doing well. But according to people, there are these standards that people have been setting to people
that are not realistic.
Yeah, they are not realistic. When they think when you have this kind of work or when you have this kind of thing, that's when you're successful or not. But for us, I know we were doing well.
Yeah.
You
never lacked anything.
Yeah, I never lacked school fees, and then we were never sent out of our house because of rent arrears or anything.
So I know we were doing well. Even right now, we are doing well. So this lady thought having everything, maybe having your father or your mom working in this kind of environment, that's when you're successful. But for my dad, at that moment he was a bicycle repairer in our town. So for him, he ensured everything about us was well
taken care of.
Yeah, well taken care of. So for her, she had things to support. They are worshipping other gods or
these witchcraft
yeah,
in their
witchcraft.
family.
Yeah,
I
and
know how African homes
yeah,
can be, so they don't accept that tragedy can
okay.
can come to you, and it's just actually something normal. Tragedy is normal.
Not to
It's
everyone.
normal to go through difficulty and changes in your life.
Yeah, it's totally normal. It happens all over the world. It's not only it's not only something for Africa, you know. So for her, this time she told the my class, you know, stop talking to a girl. I was like, okay. First of all, you see, there's something growing on her back, and another thing, she's limping. Hi, and another thing, you see, these things are occurring. Her grandma has died.
So they must be worshipping
Yeah,
the devil.
yeah,
They
you know,
must
this
it must be a sacrifice
or something, you know. And we were doing what the peoples they
They really give you a hard time. Eh?
yeah, they gave me a hard time, and you know, like you're supposed to understand these things, you know. I always say, like, if somebody comes and tell you something about me, uh, come and ask me or be understanding whatever is happening. So in our class, they decided, Wagio, it's a no good zone. So for this lady, she also made sure she has a song for me. And every moment, if I'm going to the toilet, if I'm going outside, she would rather fall running so that she can be able to imitate my walking style,
Oh
my
my
new
God.
walking style.
So she used to imitate how you're limping.
Yeah, and my song was, you know how I.
Oh, able to imitate to ski.
Okay, it was done in Kikuyu.
Mhm.
And I can only maybe I translate because I
Okay,
can't
just sing
sing.
it in just sing it.
No, it's scary.
Okay, let's see. What were the words?
Her words were like, look at Wagio, her new walking style, and okay, it was stupid. Obviously, it was.
Right now it sounds funny, but
Yeah,
then it was very hurtful, right?
It was very hurtful because she will. Okay, she will imitate how I'm walking, and then she's like, "Oi, oi." I used to laugh. Okay, not
You used to cry.
I used
I'm
to cry
sure.
at that moment, but right now, when
funny.
it's funny because I was. Come on, why would you do something of that sort to somebody?
Yeah.
And right now, you know, I'm expecting changes like boobs and what, your hips do what, and all these things. But
So
now,
shock on you, instead of new boobs, new hips, you're getting a new hump.
I'm getting a hump. It's not something that I've never seen. By that moment, I had never seen a hump. Only the guy in Mahakamani,
Vyoja Mahakamani.
that guy, there's a guy who had a hump here.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. If you remember quite well, this one guy, his hump was here.
Mm-hmm.
But mine now, it's lower.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it. Yeah, it's just here.
So how does it feel? How does it feel on your back? Do you feel like you have something?
Imagine I don't feel.
You don't feel anything?
No.
Like you don't even feel like tired, like you're carrying something on your back?
I don't feel anything. The only thing that I feel, you see
is now the pressure.
You see
Like,
my ribs. They are not like the normal.
Oh,
If you touch.
it's inside, yeah?
Yeah, it's here.
So it's a bit curved
Yeah,
towards
it's
the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't feel anything on your back?
Yeah, only maybe right now because you have said it. When I lean back and I
Okay,
something.
when it's touched, but
Yeah.
normally you don't feel anything.
I don't feel anything. Even when I go to the tailor, I don't.
That's crazy.
You're not supposed to. I tell my tailor if I go somewhere for the first time, kindly don't take different measure for the hump. You know, some people they
because want like extra space.
No, it's just normal. Just measure the normal,
Measurements.
the normal measurements that like you take for everyone else, and the cloth is going to fit itself perfectly. Yeah. So, but even at that moment, the moment I realized I have a hump, okay, I could not feel it, but when I go for those X-rays, when the doctors are examining it, they're like, "But for real, this thing is happening."
It's actually there.
It's actually there. Even for my limping, at that moment, I didn't know. It wasn't. I could not feel it much, but later on, like I said, my ribs, how they are really curved. I can sense because it's painful. At times, it gets painful.
Painful and tiresome.
Yeah, when I I do hard tasks. When I walk for too long and all those things. So at that moment, that's when I can feel it. But any other moment, at times I forget. By the way, at times I feel like
You just on kawaida.
Yeah, it's very normal. But I think it came when I started accepting myself, because of the first back then when the bullying was really happening, and when I did not know my identity.
Yes.
I didn't know myself. I didn't know anything. I think I was just there seated in this cocoon when this lady was singing these songs to me, when she made sure my classmates are not talking to me. And it's really interesting that when somebody is bullying you, and you accept their bullying, it really affects even how you look at other people. Because at that moment I could feel all eyes on me, all eyes on me. Oh, they are noticing, they are doing this and they are doing that. But at that moment, when the bullying is happening, at this moment, I also mentioned that in 2007, first term, because I moved from that school in the second term. One time, it was a cool afternoon, and it was a policy in school at times when it's too hot. When it's too hot, you remove your sweaters. I remove my sweater. This moment when I removed my sweater, this boy who was sitting behind me, he mentioned to everyone in class, look at what's this thing on? What's
Wagio's back.
Yeah, on Wagio's back. And I didn't. Okay, you maybe you think some doo or something on your back.
So you're also looking to check, hey,
Yeah,
what's that? What's on my back?
Yeah, and
You had
he said,
forgotten.
he said, look at it, and I don't know. He used some language. And I looked back and everyone just laughed. When they laughed, okay, I don't know if somebody has ever. People laughed at you, even you falling down. When people just laugh
you feel really bad, and embarrassed and humiliated.
Now I'm humiliated because of something that I have and I can't remove. I can't remove it. By the way, if I had the power, at that moment,
taken it out.
Yeah, but no, I don't have any power. I won't behave like there's something really happening to me. I'll just come to class, sit alone, and most of the time because there's no one who wants to get associated with you. Yeah, so just sit down, relax, and just pretend everything is going okay. Just pretend, because come on, I can't change my back right now. I can't change my limping, and I didn't know.
You have no control over what is happening to your body.
So, but later on, my parents noticed there's something wrong also, because my grades were really going down.
Yeah.
So they decided to transfer me, and I went to another school which was way better because the sizes were like normal. We are like,
you are within the normal limits for height.
Yeah, and this school
were really accommodative.
Very accommodative. Except for a few, and for the few that were not accommodative, they were not accommodative to most of us.
Not everyone. They had issues with everyone.
Yeah,
not just you.
Not just me. The other school, they had an issue with
you,
with
your
me.
Just because you were different.
Yeah, and do you know funny thing? In the former school, only one lady. I can't remember her two names, but I remember there was this one lady. We have never met, by the way, even up to this date. But I remember there's one moment that she defended me when people are bullying me. I remember. So in that school, everyone is against me, but for this Sarah, I've never. Okay,
she was the only one on your side.
Yeah, only lady on my side, and like just thanking her because that one day she defended me in front of people. Because now they're like, no, you play with her. No, we can't play with her. She has this thing. What if? But for her, she stood and said, you know what? You're going to play with Wagio whether you like it or not. That's what she said. It really meant something for me.
They accepted you.